Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. So if you guys were paying attention earlier today, there's been a little bit of a news drop from Plarium. So I had a bit of time to digest exactly what this news meant, and I have a little bit of an idea or theory behind why these particular events are popping up for us. So we're going to go over that in this video. But first, let's go over what exactly Plarium said or announced to us this morning. So I'll jump into that. So I'm going to pull up this little bit of a graphic here, but this is what Plarium said. On Thursday, they're going to give us a free gear removal event. It's 4 days long. That's great, right? That's great. It's after CBC. That's great. It's in the middle of Centranos, which is basically what they've promised us. So we're guaranteed or promised one free gear removal event per month. And they want to land it somewhere in the middle of the City of Centranos rotation. So this event pretty much lines up about there. Last month, they were late about a week. But they also thrown in an extra day of free removal in between that. So they said it was like the laundry day bonus or something. But yeah, make sure you guys pay attention to the free gear removal icon that's going to be showing up under your username. It's going to be it's going to be a regular thing, the monthly 4-day event. And Plarium said that they will be sprinkling in some surprise random days of other gear event removal days. So we're not limited to just the 4-day event, so we might get more throughout the month. That's all great news. Good job, Plarium, giving us that. We really need it, especially for people who are doing Centranos or Strap for Silver, for building teams and all that stuff. And you know what? It's something for everybody to plan around now. Now you can actually plan around having a day where you potentially could save millions of silver if you re-gear a whole team. So very, very good update. And obviously a little bit of transparency from Plarium is really, really appreciated. But the big news that Plarium did drop for us is that this Friday, in combination with the champion chase, so that we do have a champion chase here for the weekends. In combination with this, they will be giving us a 2x void event, void shards. That means it's going to be double chance to pull epics and legendaries from void shards only. This is generally a pretty good event for void shards and ancient shards for champion chase. Your epics are going to be really high value for champion chase, and obviously boosted rates are very good. To get more epics, void epics especially, are worth 350 points each, so it's a pretty good boost. Ancients are still the best value in terms of going in for the double chance, but voids are pretty solid as well. So I don't fault anybody for pulling on 2x, especially like earlier mid game where they've been saving a couple void shards and they just really need to progress their account. This is probably a good opportunity for you guys to pull during a champion chase. You guys might land on some goodies that you guys wouldn't have otherwise. So not that terrible. What is interesting is that they are offering a 10x Reho Bonespear. So Reho Bonespear is being offered as the 10x targeted champion here for the Void legendary Void Shard event. So Reho Bonespear is the Shadowkin champion here. She's Void legendary. She was the first Void legendary guarantee that was offered by Plarium way back in the day. I believe 18, maybe 2 years now. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 2 years now. But she was 90 void shards guaranteed. So that's relative value to what they valued her back in the day. Today, she's been power crept quite a bit. Initially, she was pretty cool. Like I thought like, whoa, this champion is really strong. But yeah, that was like a long time ago. But she still is pretty good. Her A1's kind of generic now, just a little bit of a continuous heal. Her A2, still unique to this day, brings 6 debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown, all relevant against, well, most of them are relevant against clan boss actually. So decrease attack, decrease defense, weaken, HP burn, decrease crit rate, even decrease crit rate. This is especially important for clan boss applications that don't involve the unkillable type of clan boss. Reho Bonespear brings a lot of positive debuffs for your team. In one move, she's void affinity, so you don't have like affinity issues. Really good for that spot. The other spot where she's actually really good is Sand Devil, right? So Sand Devil, she places a ton of debuffs, which means Sand Devil takes more damage. Obviously, she brings the damage boosting debuffs as well, and she doesn't have to spend like 6 hits or multi hits into the Sand Devil to apply this, which gives you some more flexibility with your team building. So generally, she's used in those kind of areas. This move makes her really good in a lot of areas as well, just as a general support. 3-turn full team cleanse with the block debuffs, and then a pretty big heal along with that. It's actually a very good move. There's not too many team cleanse, block debuffs, and then a heal on top, a recovery. There are some champions that places a shield. I believe Marichka places a shield, but I don't think she places block debuffs. She places strengthen instead. So there's some champions that places recovery as well as the full team cleanse. So for her, this is actually pretty good against like situations like Nether Spider, for example, or if you need to recover in Hydra, it's actually pretty good against like the Poison Head, where you're taking a lot of poison damage, you clear it, and then you just recover a lot of HP. 3-turn cooldown still makes it competitive as a Void Legendary. The big heal makes it pretty cool as well. She has a pretty cool passive where she basically can't be debuffed on the first debuff. She sends it back to the attacker, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown, so it's not like particularly OP. If it was no cooldown, then maybe it would be a little bit strong. Like, it'd definitely be a little bit more viable. But obviously that wouldn't work because she would just constantly be passing back the debuffs. So anyways, this is a decent, used to be a decent passive to deal with like Hegemon in the past, where Hegemon would like come in, CC everyone, but then she would basically reflect the CC back. There is some applications where this is okay, but overall it's not overly OP or overly strong or overly bad in any situation. Her aura leaves, much to be desired, not particularly useful. Faction crit attack 42% is not particularly great. Base stats, not particularly good actually for a Void Legendary, especially one that is kind of support-ish. She doesn't bring extra accuracy either, so there's no accuracy help for this move. Her HP is kind of lowish. Defense kind of lowish. Even though she looks like a spirit, her speed is not particularly super fast. It's above average, but not particularly super fast. So generally, to me, an above average champion, but not anything super OP or anything worth really chasing, to be honest. But the big thing about the news here is that they're offering this champion. The timing of the offering of this champion doesn't feel random to me. It doesn't feel random to me. Everything they do has a purpose, in my opinion. This champion, I believe, is being offered to basically squeeze out the maximum value from this champion, because like I said, the best place for this champion right now, her most sought after place, is likely Sand Devil Necropolis, where she is in a team like this. She provides the main debuffs against the Sand Devil for you to maximize damage. She does it consistently, and she basically allows teams like this with double Newt or Newt and Acrizia to complete this run successfully. So you see all the debuffs being landed here, but this is kind of all possible with Riho. So you see here, everything lands perfectly. This run runs super smoothly. So she's one of the main components in this team. I believe that Plarium is offering her up for people that want to get her to make this type of team or to complete this type of team, because you don't necessarily need her. Somebody like Ramantu, Dracomorph, even Lydia could work in this spot, except there'd be some instances where maybe your damage dealers don't deal enough damage, for example, because Riho does place 5 debuffs, which means the Sand Devil takes more damage, which means your damage dealers don't need to be so insane. So she is the best at her job in this team. But I feel like the 10X is targeted for people going after her to complete this team. But remember what Plarium said and that they were going to do. This is from a previous announcement that they made. They will be adjusting some of the more difficult dungeons in the near future. Iron Twins, Phantom Shogun, and the big bad Sand Devil himself. We don't know what this means, but I have a hunch that in the near future, the Sand Devil will be adjusted so that this no longer is the best team. And that's a real bummer because, first of all, I have this team. Second of all, it's a bummer for people building this team right now. But I feel like this is a relevant warning to anybody that wants to chase this 10x during the Void event, chasing this champion, to be wary of Reho Bonespear's near future value. It might plummet significantly, especially if they change the Sand Devil's Necropolis to something that maybe has a protected block debuff, for example, that makes the login champion Adlin actually significantly better. I could totally see that, where they put a protected block debuff. Now Riho cannot place her debuffs, and it would just be an absolute mess. I'm just saying that right now, guys. Like, I don't want you guys to be super disappointed. I don't think too many people will be chasing her in the 10x, in which case you guys just hold on to your void shards and wait one day until the 10x Riho expires, and then you guys spend your void shards afterwards without the 10x boost for Reho Bonespear. So just a little bit of a warning. It's completely speculative on my side, but to me it makes sense. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Appreciate your time as always. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this situation. Let me know if you guys are pulling for this suspect 2x void event. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.